Blizzard Beach is reopening, but Typhoon Lagoon is closing. What's the deal? Is something going on behind the scenes at Disney that they're not telling us?
There is some hype happening because Typhoon Lagoon is closing, but good news is Blizzard Beach is finally reopening with a new buzz because there's going to be an overlay of
Snowies. Is that how you say it?
Snowies.
Oh, snowies.
Snowy. I think the G
Is
silent.
it?
I believe.
All right, well, the G's silent, but the Blizzard Beach is not. Opening November 13th, just announced by Disney. If you're looking to go to Disney in November, December, January, February, which is an odd time to open a water park, to be honest with you. Even though it's Florida, still gets a little chilly, especially at night down there in January and February. So, but what's the underlying going-ons here with Disney? Because
there's been rumors that, I don't even know if it's rumors anymore. I mean, there's shortages everywhere, and I do think they are having some staffing issues with lifeguards, and that's a problem if you're operating a huge water park. So it's no surprise that no sooner does Blizzard Beach open that Typhoon Lagoon is closing for refurbishment.
Right, so maybe they're going to be doing something to Typhoon Lagoon as an overlay or adding some of their IP in there. But, you know, this is why... Two things. This is why I don't think they can operate two water parks at the moment. And this is why people are having a hard time getting dining reservations, because I think just staffing is a huge problem for Disney and everybody right now. And I don't think that's going to change over the next year. So enjoy Typhoon Lagoon until it closes, because it's probably going to be closed for a while now that Blizzard Beach is reopening.
Yeah. Actually, but back to the dining issue, that could be a whole separate podcast, but I know that, or separate show, that's a whole nother thing where people have said they've gone to the restaurants and that happened to us. We went into a restaurant and it seemed almost empty, but yet it was really hard to score a reservation. And it's just because they're trying to figure out the staffing and trying to keep cast members there and maybe not overcommit.
Yeah, that's why they are keeping the reservation system for the parks, because they can better handle how many people are flowing through the parks, and they can better schedule. And as somebody who did that for a living, it is easier to know and manage what's happening if you know exactly how many people are coming in. And it's probably going to give you a better experience. I think people would be upset if they went to Disney and say, you know, both water parks were open and they are planning to go to the day there, and they just had to suddenly close one because of the staffing issue. You can't run a water park without enough lifeguards.
Right.
So if they just surprised and closed it because, we don't have enough lifeguards for the day, that would make people more upset. At least this way they're getting ahead of it and saying, all right, we're going to only operate one water park, but that's going to be the one that's going to be open all the time.
All right, well, what do you think about this new Blizzard Beach Frozen frolic? It says number 1, frolic with frozen friends at Tykes Peak. So look out button, because there's a new little snowman in town. Snowmen, tons of them. These are adorable, I gotta say.
They are pretty cute.
I kind of like having maybe the original Blizzard Beach. Like, I don't necessarily need to see Frozen in there, but these little guys or little gals or whatever they are, they're adorable.
It's tough for me because I like that Disney has original IP for some of these parks, but then they make movies out of it, so it all kind of comes together eventually anyway.
That's true. And then they're also going to have, for a limited time, food and beverage offerings such as orange bird Dole Whip and peppermint milkshake.
I don't know if you're in a bathing suit, you're vulnerable, you're in the sun, there's a lot of people around. I don't know if I want to stuff my face while I'm at a water park.
Not only that, but ice cream in particular, it's just an unusual time for them to be kind of highlighting this. It's already cold. I think obviously November is a lot warmer in Florida than where we're from, but gets a little chilly. There have been days and mornings that I've seen it as low as like 40, 50 degrees sometimes in that month of November, and then you get to December, so it's unusual for them to kind of...
Well, if you're from New England like us, anything above 60 is swimming weather.
Not necessarily.
In January,
I don't know.
Sure.
If you're already kind of chilly, I don't necessarily know if I'm going to be reaching out for a peppermint milkshake.
No, I'm not reaching out for a peppermint milkshake in the water park ever.
And I get what you're saying. You're vulnerable. You're in a swimsuit.
You gotta eat some fruit and slim yourself out while you're getting ready to go down the water slide.
Okay. Number 3, the Plunge Down Summit Plummet. These are also hard to say.
They are.
Summit Plummet. That's my Boston accent comes out real quick. Calling all thrill seekers. The there's nothing really kind of happening with this one, but it's just a highlight of Mount Gushmore, which is a near vertical drop on the tallest and fastest free fall body slide in town.
As I get older, I don't know if my body or brain can handle these significant drop coasters like this one or the one at Volcano Bay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks a little bit sketchy for me as I'm looking up at the ladder to climb up.
Not for me. I feel like proud that you can accomplish this. Like, you still got it. Keep going.
No.
Okay.
It's like that until you get up next, and then you're up next, and then you're like, oh boy, here we go.
So this whole article that Disney Parks blog wrote, it was basically just to get guests, I guess, excited about this opening and talk about all the things that they're offering along with the new frozen aspects of the water park. So
I've always said that I didn't want to go to Blizzard Beach because we are from the Blizzard New England area, and it makes me reminisce of how cold things are here in the wintertime.
it's depressing. Yeah.
But I guess I'm going to have no choice now if Typhoon Lagoon is
Closed.
not operating.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go to Blizzard Beach. It's going to force me to go to Blizzard Beach against my will.
Well, think of it this way. It's a reimagined kind of beautiful snow day. Whereas here, you get that for about, an hour before they start shoveling and plowing, and that white, beautiful snow turns brown, gross slush.
That's true.
So maybe this will be just like a more beautiful way to kind of appreciate.
Well, the
snow.
chairlift actually looks pretty good. It says, guests can take a view of the snowy setting as they embark on a leisurely journey in the top of Mount Gushmore, Blizzard Beach's own chairlift.
I think this is one of the coolest aspects of Blizzard Beach. I like how listen, if you're going to this water park and it is a 95-degree day, how cool is it to be on a chairlift and you're in your mind, it's like snow everywhere, melting glaciers. I think that's pretty cool.
Is it cool, though? Because it's 95 degrees and humidity. What if it gets stuck?
Definitely.
And then you're stuck on a chairlift when the 95-degree heat and you can't get off.
Think like that. You're the only one that thinks like that.
Well, the gondolas made me think like that because those stop all the time and people were complaining about that. So it's always in the back of your brain, isn't it?
I guess it could be worse. You could be stuck in traffic in a Boston snowstorm or stuck on top of Mount Gushmore.
I guess I'll take Mount Gushmore.
Okay.
That's always better than being stuck in a snowstorm in Boston.
Exactly.
For sure.
And then last they have You'll Glove Runoff Rapids. Propel down Mount Gushmore on 3 unique slides with thrilling twists and turns along the way, ending in a huge splashdown at the bottom. This is the one thing people ask us all the time, like, what do we like different about Blizzard Beach versus Typhoon Lagoon? And I think some of the slides in Blizzard Beach are more kind of, I don't want to say intense, but they are like, it's more of a game. You kind of have like a competition happening in some of these slides. And to me, that makes it a little bit more fun. But I do love that tropical vibe.
Do you enjoy more the slides where you have a tube or you don't have a tube?
Must have a tube.
Yeah, it's a lot smoother. The tubes, the slides that have tubes on them, as annoying as it is to kind of carry the tube up if you have to carry it up.
Yeah.
It is a lot smoother of a ride.
It's more work, which I don't love.
You know what though? Now thinking back on Volcano Bay, you didn't have to carry tubes up. You just kind of got
True.
You just got a tube when you got up there. They had like the system that had them up there already for you. So as long as I don't have to carry it up 10 flights of stairs, I think I should be all right. But I do enjoy the tube. It's a much more pleasant experience to go down a slide on a tube.
All right, I know we're talking a lot about Blizzard Beach because it's opening, but what do you think, Typhoon? Do you think there's going to be a kind of retheming of Typhoon Lagoon? Do you think there's going to be a character like could be Moana?
Yeah, I think that would be interesting. I would like to see Moana in there. It's got that same kind of theming.
That's true. We did unlock on our podcast. If you guys check it out, I don't remember the number, but you could search for it. We did unlock Typhoon Lagoon. We've never done Blizzard Beach, but it tells you the history of what Typhoon Lagoon is supposed to be. So when you get there,
it's a shipwreck.
Well, there's a whole theme. It's kind of really interesting, the story that unfolds. So to me, I don't necessarily need Moana there, but I know that kids love her, and it would be cool to see a character.
They should do a section. If they're going to do a Moana theming in Typhoon Lagoon, it should be an area where they do, all right, this is the theming of it. So we can kind of keep it original a little bit, but if we want to make something that younger kids who watch that movie can experience and get to see that, then I'm totally on board with that.
All right, I like that. That's fair.
All right, question of the show. Which one would you rather? This is a would you rather for the show. Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach?
Okay.
Which one would you rather?
Someone's going to say neither. Don't go to Disney.
Definitely.
We always get the negative.
There's always comments like that on YouTube and Facebook, but what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do about that.
Just ignore those.
Let us know what you think of this episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back with you in a couple days with some more of this UTM TV videos. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Bye, everybody.